Hi, hello. So our basket is made. I put this fabric here, this textile fabric here, just to conceal the ends, the rope ends. Why? Because I cannot cut all the rope ends because I'm going to make another basket with the same ropes. So this I have not cut it, but it is very easy. You just cut it in here of short, and then you insert it here. So with this, you just grab it like this, and then you put it under. And in the end, you just close the fabric. And here is the same thing. So I'm going to untake this so we can see all the rope ends. So here they are. So here is the same. If we cut it by short, we can insert it here, and it will stay there invisible, more or less invisible. Why? As you can see, this is strong. Can take a lot of fruit in here. It will make an oval because this will have a tendency to close because of the weight, but it is alright. Once you have it on the table, you can open it. So if we can open it to make it round, but then it will come to its place when we actually have the force for the fruit. It is okay, it is like this because it is all rope. It does not have any metal or any structure other than the knots, but this is okay. This is we can move it. There is no problem at all. It's like this. So in here, as I was saying, if we cut and we insert it from here to here, it will stay more or less invisible. Of course that in here we have this thing, this will come in a round, and because it is in a round there is always here a small gap. So if we turn it off and we do it like this, yes, we will see the ends. That's a small problem. Perhaps the best idea here is to cut it like this and fray it. After you cut in a small, just one finger, one finger like this, and then you fray it. So after it is cut in here, we just do this, and then we don't have that problem because it is a part of the basket, a small frayed thing. That it is much macrame looking, right? Macrame has always a small fringe. That's why the word means actually by some theorists fringes. So it should not be afraid of having fringes. If this was not around, this under thing, it was not round and it was more like this, you see, more sharp, this will stay invisible. We could also make it by tree, parallel by tree. So we have here 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, so it is always 2, but we could have make it larger and by 3. Perhaps by 3 it will come to here, and perhaps we'll conceal more the rope hands if we want to to cut them all and to keep it inside. And that's it. I think that our basket is perfect, more or less perfect. There are no perfect things in the universe, right? But I think it is okay. I'm pleased with the result. I'll take a good look how many strings do I have here. So it was really a pity to cut all these strings. They are all properly in here. So if I cut it, all this will not do for nothing. You see here, this is only 1.5 meters perhaps. And what do I do with 1.5 meters? Nothing. So that's why I didn't cut it. And that's all. So in the next basket, I'm going to do a basket from the beginning with another beginning and a closed basket. We have this one here like this with this air circulation devices for the fruit to stay with more healthy, more hair circulation. It's good for fruit actually. But I'm going to make a basket all closed like this, with the fabric all closed. And that's it. Here is our basket. Let's find out if I can take out one of here. Here it is. You see, I have to make a considerable force to take it out. And I have to know exactly where it was. Ah, this is strong. You see, this is very strong. Take a good look. So it's alright. And this one, this one is a structural part of this knot, so it is here. I'm going to take out this one if I can. That's right. This has good stability, you know. I'm doing a lot of pressure here. Take a good look. Now this one, this one is also structural knot. I mean, they come from this fabric. So I have to take another one. Here it is. Oh, they are all, of course. I don't remember anymore how this was made. Oh, very funny. Very funny. Now if I start undoing all these knots, let me see. I start to undo the fabric of knots. To see things undo is a very rare, you know. That's why I'm showing here. We have 10 minutes more, 6 minutes. To undo things, we can clearly see the structure of things. And we can see details that we cannot see when we are doing it. This one comes from this side. I think that this was what I was looking for. I think that this one, let me see it. Unbelievable. I don't know where does that one come. I think it's this one. Be careful with this movement. It's this. I knew it. You see, this is important to see the structure of things. It's very important. Alright, in here I have to make another one go down. It's very funny that I have not seen yet anyone from the diamonds. Strange, right? We didn't see the diamond yet. Oh, but I know that it is here, so I have to undo it here. Here we go. So if you take a good look at how the way I am undoing this, and if you have a good knowledge of macrame and sailor's rope work, you could decipher all this work just like this in a few minutes. That's right. Now this one comes from where? Where does it come from? Oh, it's here. Huh? Well, it comes from here. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, right? Well, even myself, I'm surprised with this circuit. It ends here, of course. There's one one, you see it, now it comes from here. Aha, now it comes from here, and now it's here, the structural part. Here it is. So many turns, right? And this is from here, right? And this one, haha, comes from here. Oh, interesting. Where comes this one? Where does this one come from? Probably from the factory. Alright. Now it is not with so much force, you see. This is much soft. Why? Because we have already take many. And when we take many, this will start to become with a lot of slack. And this, aha, again. If this is with slack, then we can undo it. Oh, I'm going to undo all these diamonds sink. I'm going to undo it. Once we open the fabric free, once we make a gap in the factory, we can undo it all. But I have not reached yet that. I know that if I make a gap here, a real gap here, so it's this one. This one perhaps is holding everything in place. Let's find it out. Aha, here we have it, and we have our gap. No, not yet, not totally gap, but almost a gap. Once we make it, so we have to clean this one, clear. This one comes from here. It's a long way. Here to here. Okay. And now here. And here we have our gap more and more open. So we have only two in here. This one is easy. And this one comes also from here. Okay. I think that now we have the gap. Here it is. Now once the gap is made, you can undo it all. Take a good look. Take a good look. It's a magic, right? Take a good look. These will all... It's like a castle in the sand. Yes, this will all collapse all. You see? I'm opening the diamond like this. It's like the last stone. If we take out the last stone, the entire ceiling of a building will fall. And here is the same. Once we have a gap, these will all start to undo very, very easily. Of course, we still have to make some pullings here, but these will all go. Take a good look. How good is this? How interesting. How fast. Here we are. It's just like in fact, if you take a good look at this is very interesting, because means that the diamond, what is a diamond after all? It's like a senet. It's like a senet made with hair. Alright, we have 1, 2, 3, and it is all made with a senet. But this senet is special because it has strings that come adding from in the way. So it's not a plain, but it is all the same. I've told you the story, right? I have a story to tell you. In the beginning, I didn't have money to buy the books, the real books for learning macrame and sailor's rope work. And the books are three books. It's the Ashley Book of Knots, is the Encyclopedia of Knots and Fancy Rope Work, and it is the other book, very interesting, Rawhide. I don't know the rest of the name, but I think it's Encyclopedia of Rawhide Work. It has a lot of knots of this type. So I didn't have the money, but those books, they are actually, they were all in the National Navy Library. So I went a lot of time in that library. Many years ago, 40, so not 20, but 2 times 20. 2 times 20 years ago, I was in the National Navy Library studying all those books. And I saw a man there, and then he asked me, why do you come here and study all these books? And I said, well, I want to learn how to do sailor's rope work. And he laughed. He really laughed, and he said to me, "Ah, my good man, sailor's rope work is only one thing, over under. You don't need to see all those books and all those things. It's just this. It is over under." I was shocked with that, you know. I really was shocked, and of course, for him, I didn't say nothing. I said, "Oh yes, of course." But actually, I was shocked. But after all these years of working, I realized that he was right. You see, all these works, they are all in one principle. This comes under this one, and this comes over this one. And that's it. Of course, for making this, there is an entire science. It is not enough to say, oh, well, it is over under, but for making it over under properly, one needs a lot of study. But in the end, yes, it all resumes to that over under. There is nothing more in all this. And basketry is the same. I found one man in my days of handicraft exhibitions, and he was making baskets. And sometimes when he eat, it was very funny, he eat bread. So he took that opportunity to rest a little and to go make a walking. And he stopped a lot on my place, and I was working, and he was watching. And one day he said to me, "The work you do is exactly the work I do. The only difference is that I work with stiff stuff, and you work with soft stuff. But the work is the same." And he said the same thing. It's over 1 under 1, or over 2 under 2, or over 3 under 1. It's all the same thing. It's over under. Because it is the only over under that makes the fabric. And actually, if you take a good look of Celtic knotting, you know, the Viking knotting and the Celtic knotting, why did they make so importance to those knots? And they were with magical ideas behind. Well, it's because if you have a thing like this alone, it's nothing. If you have this, it's nothing. But if you can make it over under, it's a miracle. And you can do things, right? And that is a great lesson. With people is the same thing. If we get united, we have something. If we are alone, we are nothing. Nothing at all. And that is the secret behind the magic of knottings. We can make a mat, we can make a fabric, we can make textiles, we can make anything with this over-under thing. And that is pure magic. Magic, of course, in the sense of power. There is a power, and the power comes precisely by what that man told me, just over under. Well, I was shocked, and he was right. He was right after all. But of course, he was right, but not so fast. He was right, but before one can learn it and understand it, one has a lot to study, right? A lot to study. And because there are already studied long ago forms of making these over-under structures, and we cannot make it by chance. We have to study them. Of course, that we can develop our own forms of special over-under, but that takes time. That takes a lot of time and effort and knowledge. If we don't have the knowledge for the first simple ones, we can never devise our own forms. And well, here we have it. We are already, so have 5 minutes. So in this we have the gap. Aha, this one comes from here, so I cannot undo it because it is here made. So I have to come to this side, but from this side it again comes from here, so I cannot open it much more in a fast way. In a way that it is like this, it is already a miracle. So where does this come out? It comes from here. Where does this come? It comes from here. Ah, very interesting. It is just like, this is just like seeing a ship in the mud. Have you ever wondered, a ship, an old ship, that it is all destroyed in the mud? If you take a good look, it is an excellent opportunity for you to see how it was really made. And is an opportunity for study. These things that are open, we can see the structure, the internal structure of things. I always look, when I see ships in the mud, I always look and marvel. We can see everything, how it was the details of old boat construction. Those boats will never be made again. And they have lost secrets. Of course, now there are other boats, but things are not made the same. And here we have our fabric open already to the knot. 4 minutes. So you see, this is very fast to undo. Very difficult to do. Very difficult to do, right? We took, I don't know, an entire month doing this, and now I can undo it in 1 hour. Perhaps I will undo all this. 1 hour or more. Well, less than 2 hours, and I will undo all this. And tomorrow I'm here again to make a new basket. It's the Phoenix. Aha, this is already here, so I cannot undo it. So the Phoenix, from the ashes it will come to life again. I'm going to do it all different because this is just an opportunity and an excuse for sharing technologies, all right, for sharing designs, for sharing knots, abilities. So I'm going to do a basket completely different. So if you enjoy to see this basket, please stay around, because I'm going to do another basket and you will say, oh, this basket has nothing to do with the other one. Except it is over under. Yes, it is always under and over and under and over and under. Always. It's impressive. Very impressive, right? In Mesopotamia there is a mat, a figure mat, uh, made with serpents, two serpents, I believe. And people don't understand what is the meaning of the serpents. We say, why made with serpents? And there are Celtic knots also made with serpents in Viking stones, right? And it's nothing. The serpent, when people saw serpent, they saw a thing that have no legs and that runs more than everybody. And that was very, very strange. So they said in those times that serpents have a magic power, a power. They have something. And because they shed their skin, when they saw those skins in the field, they thought that the serpent was immortal, that it could change the body and stay for another body. And that's why they think that it has a special power in magic. And when they see these knots that are like these, nothing special, and then you can make a basket, it's a power. That's why they make a mat with serpents. Not that they are made with serpents, but it's just for us to see that a senate over under has a power, a magical power that can make a fabric. That's all. It's only that. And it is already enough. It is already a lot, right? Okay, so here you have our basket open and almost undo. Almost undone. Almost. I was almost here to... what a pity, right? Could not open it completely. 10 minutes, I cannot do it in this time. Things that have power.